My name is Lake Pro. I am a type 1 diabetic and I am a senior at Middle Tennessee State University. How has diabetes affected my schooling? I think it has affected my schooling because it's made me be more responsible, because you have to, as a diabetic, you have to constantly keep up with your blood sugars, you have to take insulin, you have to count your carbs, and you can't be lazy because it affects your health. And it's just a big responsibility because I got diabetes when I was 8 years old. So I was in middle school and it was just like, I felt like I matured faster than all of my other classmates because I had this huge role in my life that was just taking over. But on the bright side, it really has affected the way I live. Just the responsibility character in there, because of it's a reminder of like, hey, I'm checking my blood sugar all the time, and I'm remembering to do I'm remembering to do all this stuff now, and it's kind of helped me remember homework. It's kind of helped me remember tests and like how to study and like when to do that. So I think it's affected my schooling in a positive way because of how I had to really step up my responsibility. What do I want my classmates to know about diabetes? I would say it's usually when I know back in high school and middle school, when I was like, you were around these group of people all the time, and there are a lot of triggers that diabetics get when they have, say, a low blood sugar. You start shaking and you start not being able to focus on anything, and you pretty much just kind of become unresponsive. So I would like for, if it's possible, for all my classmates to know to just check for signs. If I'm not realizing that I'm having a low blood sugar, I'll be shaking and kind of freaking out. To just ask me how I am. Just say, hey, are you feeling alright? Is your blood sugar good? And we don't get offended by that. I mean, we don't get offended by that because it's nice. It's, checking up on us. But so the gist of it, it would be cool if my classmates could just know the signs: shakiness, dizziness, kind of just not paying attention, and that even if we pull out like a pen to take a shot or anything, just to try not to draw a lot of attention to it, because I know some diabetics kind of struggle with that. Just they feel self-conscious about checking their blood sugar and taking shots in the middle of the class, which sometimes you don't have the option to go to the bathroom. So I think, so basically just check up on us if we're acting weird, and just don't draw any attention to us if we're, doing our thing. Do I believe diabetes is getting the recognition it deserves? I think there's a good amount of recognition out there, but I feel like there's just a couple points that people should get across in their heads about diabetes. But first of all, I'm type 1 diabetic, and there's two types. There's type 1 and type 2. Type 1 diabetic, people were like, oh, you're not fat, why do you have diabetes? And it just kind of blows my mind, like, that people only refer to diabetes as unhealthy, which I was born with diabetes and it show up at any time. That's what type 1 is. You can be born with it. It has nothing to do with your health. So I feel like if people understood the different types of diabetes, type 1 and type 2, that they would understand a little bit better that there are normal people that are diabetic, and you would never realize that they're diabetic. And another funny point about recognition on diabetes is people always ask if my blood pressure is okay when I think they're referring to blood sugar. So just like, there's a couple just simple terms, obviously blood sugar and blood pressure, that are just they're kind of funny in my head, but like, oh no, it's my blood pressure's fine, I think he meant blood sugar. Like, oh yeah, that thing. So, but other than that, other than just a couple terms and just basic knowledge, I think there is enough recognition out there, and they're doing, like, the JDRF walks for diabetes to raise, awareness and to donate to diabetes, and I think that's great. So, how do I feel when people make fun of my disease? I think there's not a lot of people who go out of their way to make fun of diabetics or really any disease in general. I think just some diabetics take it as an offense when people don't know what they're talking about, but I think that's the thing. It's just people do not know what they're talking about when they try to confront you about your disease. So I'm the type of person that likes to inform people about the disease. So I don't personally get offended because I honestly think that they're not trying to make fun of it. They're just they just think they know something about it and they try to confront me, and it's all wrong. So I'm the person that does not really get offended by it and try to, just inform them about it. But people who actually make fun of diabetes just because, that's kind of makes them a terrible person, because why would you make fun of the disease? I mean, you're born with it and everything. That's kind of terrible.